Hi everybody, my name is Chandra and today I am going to present you a topic on the journal I selected. It talks about the effect of potassium nutrient on the chemical and sensory attributes of tomato fruit. So this was published in the Journal of Animal and Plant Sciences in the year 2012, written by Mr. Dr. Zavaria. As you all know, tomato is a very important nutritional and fruit crop around the world, and it has been consumed in diverse ways such as raw and is used in dishes and sauces, salads and drinks and pickles and so many ways. This tomato contains a very important antioxidant called carotene lycopene. So this is a very important nutritional vegetable. To grow this tomato, potassium is also very important fertilizer, because potassium fertilizer plays an important function in many ways in many of the fruit and vegetable crops. So this study the purpose was to evaluate the chemical and the sensory attributes of this tomato fruit responding to various rates of fertilizers of potassium applications. So this study was conducted in a greenhouse experiment in pots using soil as a media. So the design was a completely randomized design, and it had 4 replications, and it had about 7 treatments including control. The treatments were all the different amounts of fertilizers of K provided, like 75 kilograms per hectare, 150 kilograms per hectare, up to almost the highest level of 450 kilograms per hectare. Nitrogen and phosphorus, the other major important nutrients, were provided at standard rates or recommended dose for all the plants. Only the potassium had different rates. And the potassium and phosphorus, they were given at the time of transplanting of these tomato seedlings, whereas nitrogen was split into 2 doses, one at the time of transplanting and one after a month of transplanting. At the end of the harvest, the tomatoes were picked up and they were cut into 2 halves, and one half was sent for chemical analysis such as vitamin C and other evaluations, whereas the other half was for sensory analysis by a group of 10 selected members. Those people also trained on evaluating these sensory attributes, so such as the size of the fruit, the firmness, the redness. There are so many factors. So the results showed that there was an improved chemical factors improving at increased application rate. Although the 375 kilograms per hectare was the best results they got, whereas even at the highest level the response was no significance. So that means the increased level of potassium shown significant effect increasing vitamin C and fruit lycopene and sugars and total solids, whereas it decreased the pH. And the sensory factors they evaluated with the group had some of those were correlated with the chemical analysis results, although there was not much consistency among those two results. In some, for example, the lycopene and surface redness, there was a correlation between the sensor group and evaluation and also the chemical analysis. So to conclude this, the author says that the potassium levels the potassium, the higher amounts of potassium, like 375 kilograms per hectare, was able to increase uh, increase the total sugars, fruit lycopene, and total solids, and all other these important nutritional factors, as well as the sensory values of the fruit as well. Based on this article, there are some of the like this is a good article, but there are some small things which they could have really improved the experiment. The author doesn't say how many fruits they selected when they divided for sensory and chemical, whether they selected just one fruit from each plant or they selected the whole fruits from each plant. So how did the method of sampling, they didn't mention anything about that. All this what they say is, we cut the fruit into two halves, and one of sensory and one for chemical, but what the fruit was from just randomly selected. And also they didn't say anything about the grading of the fruits, like the what size, like A grade, or they could have really improved the a marketable tomato or cull tomato, something like that. And not much data also provided on the how the sensory factors were evaluated for the this. They say that they trained the sensory group members for 10 days, but really they didn't give much details into that. So overall I conclude that this is a good effort just in the beginning, but this could have been improved much better. So thank you very much. Appreciate.